Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about how Doctor Who is responsible for guys committing crime nowadays. I mean, not just Doctor Who, but this new wave of feminist propaganda. I mean, at this point, it is kind of propaganda. Basically, there is an article talking about Nick Fletcher, conservative MP for the South York of Donald Valley, spoke about women empowerment economics from a Westminster event for International Men's Day. And basically, he states everywhere, not at least within the culture sphere, there seems to be a call from a tiny and a very vocal minority that that every male character or role model must have a female replacement. One only needs to look at the discussion around who will play the next James Bond. And it's not just James Bond. In recent years, we have seen Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, Luke Skywalker, The Equalizer, all replaced by women, and the men are left with Craze and Tom Sherry. Is there any wonder we are seeing so many young men commit crimes? I mean, I don't really know what to really kind of say. I mean, I don't agree that because we changed characters for from male to female that I believe crime has increased for males, but society has this whole thing about men are terrible, men are trash, and then all the role model characters that they have, they've been systematically destroyed. It is true. I mean, think about what happened with Superman. You took one of America's icons and you took his son, but you didn't really tell most of the world that, oh, it's his son, not Superman himself. And you're like, oh, Superman's bisexual now. So you take a role model that was for manly men, and I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Superman can't inspire other people or LGBT people, but you guys keep destroying these male role model characters. You're getting rid of them. You gotta bring in the female characters of men. The female characters are better. All of a sudden, the female characters are the best ever. They're way better than the men. The men are incompetent. The men never could do anything or at all. And like, how many shows of lately, movies and shows of lately, star females taking over from a male role? Several of them, you know? And I'm not saying that this is true, but there is truth in what he's saying. Like, boys need role models, men need role models, and we're not seeing it because we got society talking about men are trash. I mean, hell, you even had Benjamin Cumberbatch over there talking about Benedict Cumberbatch when he was thrown in his movie that men need to learn to shut up and listen. Like, what the hell is that doing? That's not doing anything for anybody. All that's doing is ignoring the issues that we're having, and people are just kind of annoyed. Like, I didn't even know we even had an International Men Day because as like I said, as society says, men are trash, and I'm quite sure there are probably people protesting like, we don't need no men day. I mean, hell, they were trying to get rid of Father's Day. So don't sit up here and say, oh, it's not propaganda. It's not. Yeah, it is. It is. It's been such a destruction of these male heroes and icons and role models and just men in general by saying that is nothing but toxic masculinity. You can't use toxic masculinity as reasoning for every damn thing. It's not possible. It's just not. I'm not going to sit up here and say every man is terrible, but how you going to expect anything to change when all you keep showing is how bad men are and how idiotic they are? Oh, okay, but you want men to be better, but you show them in stupid ways, or you replace the main characters that people look up to, or that little boys, you know, seek seek attention from or look up to or are inspired by, what do you think that's going to do it when you get rid of those characters for female characters? You know, I mean, then they there's even more parts of the article. I guess there is a person. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Like cause he had a video. This guy Nick Fletcher, he had a video where he speaks on it about how male crime is blamed on the fact that we're replacing male characters with female characters. I mean, okay. I mean, it is kind of crazy, but it is what it is with that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to sit up here and say that that's the truth, but he's really not, you know, happy with what's going on in society, and I can't blame him. I'm not happy neither. I'm not happy neither. Where this route of women are amazing and men are trash is just kind of aggravating. And now you have the point where Doctor Who is in such a flux of nonsense that you have people using as a prime example for terrible things that are going on because I mean there is some truth in the fact that men feel abandoned, and we as a society have showed men that they're nothing and that we shouldn't care about them. We should only focus on females and little girls. Like again, how many movies have there been where there's been a brand new male character who is, competent, smart, intelligent, a role model, saves the day, maybe get the girl, if anything. Haven't seen a show to be honest, but I've seen plenty of female led shows and movies doing that. And instead of, yeah, well, they don't even get the male, they get the girl nowadays. So, it is what it is. So I guess this other person, I guess the person who wrote the article, Louise Perry, also writes down um, where she asked her husband if he could remember any male figures who influenced him, and he thought of a infamous star of a children's TV series, Fireman Sammy, and probably inspired him to stop using a dummy as a toddler. As it happens, firemen in recent years do provide some evidence that Nick Fletcher's claim of vocal gender equality campaigns have male television characters in their sights. In 2017, then Commissioner of London Fire Brigade, Danny Cullen, proposed that Fireman Sam should be renamed Firefighter Sam to avoid discouraging women interested in joining the fire service. When the program makers ignored the suggestion, poor old Sam was dropped as a mascot. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're having all of these things where you're not allowed to have biological men. You can't say firemen. You can't say men in general in these words, and it's just kind of ridiculous. I don't know what's going on, but it kind of needs to stop because what are we doing? We're saying that men need to change, they need to listen or whatever, but okay, cool. The same amount of men need to change, men need to listen. Shouldn't that also apply to women as well? And why we keep saying that women don't have a voice or whatever, when I'm not talking about any negativity, I'm talking about positive stuff right now. When there are plenty of shows and movies, I mean, for God's sakes, Disney entire property, most of their properties are focused on female led everything. So what are we talking about? Now you got comic books, they're doing the same thing. Hey, let's get rid of all these male characters and make female versions of them. And the female character is way better than the male character ever could be. And then you're bringing, not only that, you're also bringing them into male dominated things that men like. You don't see men being brought into female dominant things. You know what I'm saying? Because women want to like that, but y'all think it's okay for it to happen the opposite way. Again, I'm not saying that these changes are the reason why crime is up. There are a lot of difficult things, and that's a whole conversation that I'm not getting into. My concern is that this needs to wake people up and understand, like, we have a gender a gender problem, equality problem. And instead of it being even down the board, it's being skewed so far to the opposite side that people are literally using that as excuses or using it as good as reasonings, which again, what he's saying isn't lying, because it is. What do boys really have to look up to? Because when they watch these male superheroes movies and shows, they're getting replaced by literally female characters every other second, or they're getting replaced for nothing really, or they're getting killed off. It's true. We can't sit up here and say that it's not true. We need to value men a little bit more and stop with this nonsense. I mean, I'm not. I mean, the only reason why I even brought this up, because it's kind of funny when you have an article talking talking about this, and I get it. I get it. Um, it isn't fair to blame the changes of fictional characters to from male to female, but it can affect mental health or the mental growth of men, to realize, like, hey, when you're being barraged by shows, movies, video games, talking about how terrible men are and how we have to get rid of men, white men are terrible, straight men are terrible, or whatever. Okay, well, you taught them that they're terrible. No offense. What did you? What else is people are supposed to do when you constantly tell them that they're terrible, they never amount to anything or anything, and they shouldn't try anymore with whatever, and they shouldn't really be alive? Like you have people commenting talking about, I wish all men were dead. Okay, all right, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, at some point we gotta change the conversation. We gotta start this female empowerment bullcrap is a freaking bullcrap, and it's doing more harm than good, because there's going to be something that's going to legitimize this. I kid you not. Again, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's fair. But I do believe, just like how they legitimize, oh, all men are bad and men are terrible, when I guess Gamergate happened or something like that, that the pendulum is going to swing where they're going to blame female characters, especially like Doctor Who, to the reasoning why people do terrible things, and then you're going to have to course correct. So, I mean, or you're going to have to swing it. You're going to have to swing the pendulum back to where you were when you were complaining about it the first time. I'm not saying that it could happen or will happen in the future, but something needs to give, to be honest. I just thought it was a very interesting topic of discussion, because you do have this person actually making some sense with the fact that there aren't any hardly good male role models that haven't been destroyed yet. And because they really have. So it is what it is. But yeah, you tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.